lying, you or the instructor?
Well, the instructor never said that I cheated. The instructor says that she believes that I had some notes, a notebook, which I have no problem saying I had a notebook, but not in front of me, it's not reachable. And I again offer to that instructor, okay, if you were a police commander for, and I'm trying to remember back 20 years ago, but I did remember saying to her that, look, you're a police commander, you're calling me out. I'll take the test right now in front of the class orally. There's my challenge. Wouldn't do it. So what can I do about that? Nothing.
What does it say about your character that in a meeting where you want questions to be in writing to create, it looks like, anonymous comments, you call people out by name for their questions? I would like you to apologize.
Well, first of all, I stated when we started this to put your name on the bottom of the card. So when you put your name on the bottom of the card, it's supposed to be there. Never once was it said anonymous. If you want to be anonymous, you can, but I asked in the beginning, and so did Janine, that people put their name on the bottom. And when I say calling out, I know the people that are there, I see them put in the card, and I have no problem, I didn't offend anybody. And calling them out is because they're very passionate about their position, and I respect it. But as far as the decorum set forth was asking, and I know there's people that walked in here that didn't sign their name in the sheet. That's fine. You don't want to sign? Don't sign. A couple in the back, over here. I'm just requesting that when you attend this event, that you did that. Not gonna call people out for that, but if there's a question about noise and question it, that's it. I mean, I'm bringing it up, bringing it forward. There's no disrespect. It's reality. I would say 90% of the council meetings, there is a group that comes and discusses issues, concerns, and complaints about noise generated from that rock development. So I'm very versed, extremely versed in who they are, what the questions are, what the issues are, and we are addressing them. I believe at this point, having been an alderman for 6 years dealing with it, mayor for over 2, in the over 8 years I've been dealing with this same group, that we've developed a mutual respect, even though sometimes we don't agree. But that's me trying to draw a little bit of brevity to a situation that is oftentimes very intense. So if anybody was offended by that, I apologize, but that's why I also asked up front that when you put the card, you put your name and where you're from on it, because when I was here last Tuesday for an event, and that was what it was. It was you on the bottom, it would be like, I'm Steve from Franklin, and this is my question. And that's how that worked on a card, read out that way.
Why are you allowing the Rock to not pay shortfall and interest on taxes?
So the Rock, their finances and the things that we're going through, they are current. So they are current in what they've had to pay. We are going again and trying to negotiate and hold accountable the agreements that are in place. And we're trying to do that, and we've been doing it, I believe we've been doing it pretty successfully, yet there's always gonna be challenges, but these agreements that are in place and their culpability for those that are, again, this whole rock development and what shortfalls are. What does a shortfall mean? Shortfall is from their assessed value to what they're currently valued at. There's a difference, and whatever that assessed value is, that's the shortfall that they have to pay. So they have to pay that. They are paying it. They paid it last year, it'll be paid this year, and I often said, and we discussed this in closed session, open session, we have to, the accountability has to be said, and I can't comment on closed session, but in general, there is accountability. We are not taking a back seat to their obligation, and it's a balancing act.
The second part of the question says, why do they get a pass on paying taxes next year?
Well, they don't get a pass, and at all on anything. So I'll leave it as they don't get a pass. But I'm not going to dive into what I believe they're talking about. But there is no pass. They're current.
And the last part is, do taxpayers have to pay what they don't?
If they would go into a situation where they didn't pay, and then that could come onto taxpayers' shoulders. It could, But that's a development agreement, an agreement that was developed well over a decade ago. We're dealing with it, and we're doing everything, and when I tell you everything to make sure that it doesn't happen. We're doing everything to make sure that it doesn't happen. But to that person, I'm not gonna say who it is, 'cause I don't know. We are doing everything to make sure that doesn't happen, and we've made that really crystal clear with the developer as well.
A Franklin resident has an audio recording of you calling an abuse survivor as having PTSD. You also called her wacko and said she was not right in the head. Despite an audio recording of you saying these things, you still denied it. If there is evidence of you saying this, but still denying it, how can the public trust you?
Great question. And I know where that's from. And what I said was that I agree to this day. There's no question that this person has PTSD for what she went through. There is no doubt in my mind. Yes, I said it. I 100% said it. I never said I didn't. Okay? And yes, she is an abuse survivor. Terrible. Couldn't imagine for a second what she went through. And for this person to say that they tape recorded me in a conversation and turned it over, fine. I think the person that tape recorded is an oddball, but to go to the person that it's said about, there is no question that she is a survivor. 100%. And I did say that you have PTSD, and I believe you do, because that is an unbelievable thing you went through. I'll leave it with that.
That was the last question.
Good. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you everybody coming here. Worked out well. I think if there's anything more, if people want additional questions, want to contact me offline, please do so. Good night.